Uh, in this video, I'm going to rank all the One Piece arcs. I will not be including mm, Elbaf because it has not been adapted yet, and I'm really waiting to see how they like. Is there going to be any kind of animation related change now that it has gone seasonal? So let's see. Let's get right into it. So let's start with Romance Town. To be honest, the very first few episodes I did not enjoy that much. So like Luffy meeting Shanks and all, uh, Fusha Village, what happens there? The very initial few episodes are not that interesting to be honest to me, and that's why like it did set up a lot of things. We get to see Shanks, we get to see Luffy's history. Um, but let's see. So a lot of things happen. We obviously start with Luffy on Alvida's ship, and we get to meet Kobe and all. It is still a decent one, but for me, it is just not that nice. I'll put it in B for now. Let's see if any of my opinion changes with the video. Orange Town. So I'm a bit rusty on everything right now. I think it was where we got to see Buggy, which obviously makes it quite nice. To be honest, it took some time for me to like Buggy. He was not that likable character initially, but later on he did pick up the pace, and I think I enjoy him quite a bit. Orange Town, again a B for me, I suppose. Syrup Village. So to be honest, uh, not that interesting. Like I did not like Usopp's backstory that much. Like especially the reason for Yasop to leave Usopp and his mother alone. That was just not that nice to me. It just felt like why that it doesn't even make any sense. And still Usopp is being like, yeah, my father is a great person and he left me and my mother to just go out with someone else. So that someone being Shanks in this case, which does make a bit sense. Like you could do something like that for a person like Shanks, but who knows that? I will put it in D. This is going to my first D. I don't think any of the arc is going to fall lower than that. I just didn't enjoy it that much, especially that Kuro and everything. That backstory also is just not that nice to me. So Barati, definitely a very nice backstory. You get to see what happened with Sanji, Zeph, and you get introduced to Mihawk, like one of the strongest at that time. You didn't even know that there could be someone stronger than him, and you get to see Zoro's backstory, like why he is like what his if unless I'm forgetting or mixing something, I do think that Zoro's backstory was shown over here. Anyways, I will be putting that in A. Quite a nice arc according to me. And then we get to Arlong Park. So a lot of things happen. We get to see Nami's backstory and all, which was quite emotional. But I think I kind of got bored from all that. But otherwise, it was a very interesting arc. I liked how our world expanded to fishmen and all. We were seeing that the world is quite vast over here, and suddenly we got to know like power scaling wise how strong the fishmen are, how strong in fact Luffy and others are. Like Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, like they were already setting up the fact that they are going to be a bit different than rest of the crew. So I will put it just above Barati because overall quite nice. And that walk to Orland Park, that was also great. So I'll just put it over there for now. Now we come to Town. Again, crazy nice short arc, I suppose. It was not that long. We got introduced to a lot of new characters. Smoker, Dragon, uh, Buggy, and others. They were back. So and we also got to know about a bit about how Roger used to live, what kind of life he was living. Like given a few of those episodes were fillers, but still I liked Town quite a bit. I'm gonna put it at A for now. Let's see. Reverse Mountain, small short arc. Um, we got. I do not see Whiskey Peak. Okay, that is after this. Okay, fine. So small short arc. We got to know about Crocus. We even got to little bit about Laboon and the backstory about it. The Rumbar pirates and all. I don't think that much was said about them, like what happened exactly. I do not remember that, but overall quite nice. Still, I would say at best it is a top B. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I just don't feel like there was so much interesting thing that going on other than just getting into the Grand Line. Whiskey Peak. To be honest, this was a not so nice arc. It was quite small as well, but for me it was just I could give it a C. I could also give it a D. It was quite boring. We got to know a little bit about Crocodile. I mean, we mentioned him to rest of the crew, but still, I will put it at top of D for now because um yeah, I'll just leave it at that. Little Garden, another one which was not that interesting. We are basically now sailing with Vivi. We are going towards Alabasta. Hmm. We got to know about the giants. To be honest, pretty lackluster. Mr. 3 was able to handle those two giants. That was just not that interesting to see. It just kind of took the power scaling completely off the charts if Mr. 3 is able to take care of them like that. So I don't know what even to guess about the rest of the characters. So yeah, I didn't talk about the bounty till now, but I think Luffy is at 30 million right now, which was good. It was just not that big of a deal at the moment. Um, Again, I will just put it at the top of D. Drum Island. So Chopper gets introduced. I'm trying to remember if something of my interest happened, like as such that I was very, very much interested in watching. So we obviously got to know about Chopper. We also, if I remember correctly, we got to know about a little bit about um, how the things were happening in Drum Country and all. I don't remember if they showed any signs about Blackbeard because he did went to that place. Ace came after him, and he also said something about that Luffy might come, something like that, to one of the citizens. But I did really like the climb on the mountain, which Luffy did while carrying Nami and Sanji, both of them, which was quite nice. After that, it was just okay. Like, goated speech, by the way. Forgetting the name of that doctor, but what speech he gave over there, like when people die, that is a very good speech. So just for that, I will put it in top of B. Alabasta. Now, this is the first arc where we started getting a proper matchup for each of the Straw Hat. Everyone got their own fight. It was quite interesting to watch. Also, how Poneglyphs got introduced, Nico Robin got into play and all. It was quite interesting overall. Crocodile himself is a quite nice villain, and I could argue that he's similar to Doffy, but Doffy is still kind of a little bit better. That is what I would say. So overall, quite a nice arc. We got Smoker and all of them back. Um, Luffy showed his fighting prowess, like how he thinks about battle and all. So still quite nice. Is it a top B or top or bottom A? That is what I'm trying to think here. I obviously like it quite a bit. I could put it just above Blue Town, just because of like all the new introduction that we got in that arc. Okay, let's go to Jam. Quite interesting one. Blackbeard got introduced in this one, which by itself makes it quite interesting. We also got to know about people's dream and all, like why you should feel free. If you are a pirate, you should do whatever you want. Nico Robin is now part of our crew. She just makes this even better. And basically, the fight at that bar, that was very interesting. I mean, if you understood why Luffy and Zoro did what they did, it had a very strong statement associated. So I really enjoyed Jaya. It will be a bit different than I guess most of others' opinions. I really like Jaya. I could easily put it at the just below Arabasta. It was nice. It was nice to watch. It increased our worldview and just put it into a new way of thinking. Like there could be Sky Islands now. So let's go there. So I don't know whether this is a controversial opinion, but Skypia for me is one of my favorite arcs. I know that a lot of people skip Skypia. I'm not even sure why they do that. This is easily like one of the most interesting arc with one of the most interesting villains. And to be honest, Enel is just so cool. His fruit is cool. His abilities are very cool. The way he's using his mantra and all, like he's using those electrical signals to just increase his observation haki to the whole island. It is just so freaking cool, and especially the lightning. I just like that. Fruit is my favorite in the whole One Piece world. So I can easily put it at top of S for now. And it will definitely change because there are a few arcs that I like a bit more than Skypia. But Skypia just gave me so much like interesting thoughts. Like what could be the possibility in the world of One Piece? The sense of adventure was through the roof, and especially your Tarjun voice calls over there. Now here comes Long Road. I did not enjoy it at all. Very boring. Especially the fight with Foxy. I will just put it at the bottom for now. We definitely know what it means now, like the Debbie back fight and all, but still, it was just a very boring arc for me. Now we are getting to Water 7. I guess most people started liking One Piece around this time. I was already into it. Like I already said that Skypia was my favorite, but still, Water 7 was quite a nice arc. To begin with, we are getting some uh, internal turmoil happening over Mary between Luffy and Usopp, and we got to the fight, which is obviously quite emotional. And so, Water 7, a lot of interesting characters are introduced. Lucy, Ollie, all of them, like, but obviously one of my favorite characters also got introduced into in this arc, which was Frankie. So initially, I guess I did not like him that much when he was introduced, especially as a what do you call him, as a kind of a villain. He was going after Luffy, and he was not that interesting to me at that time, but he took over the spot quite easily. It didn't took him long, and I was already liking him by the end of this arc. So I mean, not end of this arc, but the next arc. So I will put it at, can I put it at the top of Arlong Park? I guess I could. So I'll just put it there. And then we get to NES Lobby, which was ignoring Skypia, kind of the best arc till now. So I will not even argue. I'll just put it over here first, and then I will tell my thoughts about it. So interesting matchups first. All the Straw Hats got another interesting matchup. We got to see a lot of interesting Zoans, and Luffy basically getting thrown out of the window for the first two fights. And later on, we got to see all the new gears, Gear 2, Gear 3, which was quite interesting to watch. And basically, then Robin reuniting with the Straw Hats, and Mary also coming back to pick them up. Overall, quite nice. Definitely, there were some episodes that were quite boring in the middle, especially when the train was going off the bridge. Um, but quite a decent arc overall. Post NES Lobby. Now, this was the point where we got to know that Luffy is related to Garp, and the kind of bloodline Luffy has is not something to just forget about. And so yeah, we got to see what else we got to see. We got to know about Shanks, what kind of pirate he is, and basically the progression that Kobe and Helmeppo were doing. Those things were not that interesting to me, though, but still, quite a lot of things were happening. I could put it on A. I will put it at the bottom of A for now. Let's go to Thriller Bark. Immediately, we got to know about Brook. Not my favorite character, but still better than some of the other few. And we got to see the fight about Ruma. We got to see Gecko Moria, Perona, all of that. Like the whole concept was quite cool about Thriller Bark being an island, and we got to see Oats, like what ancient giants were like, and basically the way Luffy's shadow was put into that, and his whole character was around Luffy was so funny. So I did like this arc. I would put it at the top of B because it was interesting, but still not that interesting that it will top over other arcs. Sabodi. Again, a lot of new characters. We got the supernovas. We got to know about the pacifistas, how strong they were. Bartholomew Kuma, that like already in the Thriller Bark, we got to have those nothing happened moment and all. But seeing that now it has been replicated to the scale that they can just pull out a new Bartholomew Kuma at will, it was just so scary to see. Like, what can the pirates do at that moment? It took so many of them just to bring down one of the pacifistas. And the whole thing about the auction and seeing the fishmen being treated the way they were and the rest of the slaves and all. So it was quite a interesting arc, not just because of the story and but because of the like politics that were involved into that as well. So overall, quite nice arc. Savadi. I will put it just below Barati. Amazon Lily. To be honest, the new opening of this arc, I saw it. I felt that Boa Hancock is going to be Luffy's mother. I was not at all going to guess that she will be the love interest of Luffy, even though it is one-sided. But that was quite funny to watch. Not that nice, to be honest, knowing their age difference. But still, it is just a gag. So let's see how that goes. But other than that, seeing a new warlord, the way Luffy used Haki, he was basically able to unlock that. And how he fought with the rest of them, how things got into motion, how everyone was preparing for the war that was coming between Whitebeard, I mean the whole Whitebeard pirates and the Navy, everything like that. Overall, quite interesting to watch. Um, I could put it just below Bark. You know what? I will put Thriller Bark above Posternius Lobby. Now we have Impel Down. Initial few episodes of Impel Down, not the initial one were quite interesting, like Luffy Buggy reuniting and how he was going through the levels and all. That was nice, but it got a bit boring quite fast. Like especially when Luffy was attacked by Magellan. After that, it was just a bit boring till the point he got to meet Ivankov, and since then, like it was just a roller coaster show of getting to Marineford. Until then, it was just all quite chaotic and nice. So I loved all of that in the later half. But in the mid, it was quite boring. I would just put it. Hmm, I will put it just below, just above Amazon Lily. Now here comes Marineford, arguably one of the best arc of One Piece. So many fights, so many characters over there, so many different kind of interaction. That is the best thing about One Piece, that you have these characters that were shown like hundreds and even sometimes thousands of episodes ago, and then they come back, and now you see the interaction between these characters that were introduced with a huge difference between each of them. So we get to see how Doflamingo talks, how Doflamingo interacts with Crocodile, how rest of the admirals are like, what kind of powers do they have, what kind of power Whitebeard has, and what is the scale between a Marine admiral and a Yonko, to be honest, and just how far they are from Luffy. Those kind of things we got to see, and it was like a quite interesting watch. Like Luffy is trying to he is targeting something that is on top of all these characters, and he's not backing off, and these people who are so strong still can't reach to the level of Roger. So that is something quite interesting to watch. And then we got Shanks coming to the war to stop it, and basically seeing Ace dying on the screen. That was very very different to watch, because in One Piece someone rarely dies, and to see such a character die who was so important, it was like the whole story changed from over there. So quite nice. um I will put it above Skypiea. It is just so nice. I could just go back and watch any episode. And yeah, post war. So we see what is happening on not Amazon Lily. Yeah, it was Amazon Lily. Like we got the speech from Jinbei. What is important for you to Luffy? That was quite strong. And after that, Luffy basically realized what else was there for him left in the world. And what else? We got to see about how he goes back to Marineford to give his condolences to the war, but also giving the message to the rest of the Straw Hats about the 2D, 3D2Y. So I guess I can put it at the just above Post Lobby, or to be honest, below that. Mm, no, I will put it just above Amazon Leaf. So return to Sabori. We are now in the post-time skip phase. Um, a lot of new character designs and all. To be honest, I did not like all of them. Like especially the women in One Piece. Like after that, they were just so different. Especially Frankie as well, knowing that he was my second favorite Straw Hat, and I really liked his design. It was very cool, especially his hair. And after that, it just went wild. So I don't know, man. It was a nice return. I will just put it at the bottom of B. I do not have a C till now. I'm not sure whether I'll have one by the end of this video, but let's see. Fishman Island. What can I say? I guess we have found our first C. I'll just put it there, then we'll talk about it. So while the few things happening in the arc is quite interesting, the way we got to know about the whole politics behind how fishmen are treated, and how Otohime was trying to get it to work between the humans and the fishmen, how she was trying to get in touch with the world nobles and basically getting a like member nation kind of status for Fishman Island. But anyways, it was quite nice to watch. But the backstory of Hody Jones and the kind of villain he is, it was so bad. It was just so bad. I did not like that much, especially in the anime, where it took 1 week to just watch something barely happen. It was quite boring to watch. But anyways, yeah, Fishman Island is sea. I'll just put it there. We got to see how much the other Straw Hats have progressed. It was nice. Everyone got some kind of power spike, but still, it will see at best. Punk Hazard. We got to introduce to Kiemon, Momo, all of that. We got to know about a little bit more about Vegapunk, how things were happening over there at that island. And again, Smoker is back, Tashige is back. Interesting stuff happening, especially that one scene which did not get like conveyed to us how that happened. That how one of the smile got converted from an apple fruit. But let's put it at just above Drum Island or even Amazon Lane, to be honest. We'll just put it there. Dressrosa. So anyone who watched the anime would know that Dressrosa was dead slow. Like the pacing was so bad, man. Like it took 1 week and again nothing happened. Nothing would happen. It was so bad. But otherwise, it was such a cool arc. Like one of the best, to be honest, in the whole anime. Like Doflamingo himself is such a cool character. Getting to know that he was a celestial dragon and his backstory was just so nice. And like what kind of person he is. That was like, it all made sense after that. And Luffy going fighting with him, Law Love's backstory and all. I really enjoyed all of it. And Isho was also a cool character. Dressrosa itself, like quite an interesting island. How the toys was introduced, how basically how Kiros was fighting off with them for so many years, and his backstory with Rebecca and all. It was quite interesting. The only issue was the pacing. The pacing was bad. If the pacing was nice, it would have easily been an S, but I just can't forget that, how long it took for things to happen. I will put it just below Alabasta because there were a lot of parallels as well. Like Alabasta and Dressrosa were quite similar, to be honest, especially the villains, everything. Yeah. I'm surprised there were no Poneglyphs over there. Let's go to Zoe. Quite interesting. Finally, we got to know that there are people with more than 1 billion of bounty, Jack. And especially that reveal, Raizo Dono is safe. That was fantastic. Like you literally got goosebumps in that chapter. Like I read that first in the chapter, and I was just so like thinking like, is that did that really happen? And after that, in the anime as well, it was just so well done. And especially getting to know about the red poneglyphs, how you need all four of them, and Robin basically becoming 100 times more important in this show. And then Luffy basically getting that voice of all things. Obviously, it did not get explained. He did use it once before in Fishman Island, but he was basically able to like listen to Zunisha so clearly, even though he was not able to control it, and only Momo was able to, which basically means there has to be some other different kind of connection. But yeah, so let's put Zou. Definitely quite nice. I will put it just above Water 7 if it allowed me. Yeah. Let's go to the next one. Whole Cake Island. One of the most troublesome, annoying villain was from this island, and that was Big Mom. Man, the amount of time she cried wedding cake was just like so irritating, and it took quite long for that to like to recover from that. But otherwise, the whole island idea, the whole enemies and everything, character, it was quite interesting. It is an easy A for me. Just will have to look where I'm gonna put it. But Luffy versus Katakuri, the way Luffy learned the advanced observation and all, it was just so interesting to watch. Yeah, so it is just a bit shame like how they treated Big Mom in that arc, and after that as well. She has been getting like slapped, clapped, whatever you call it, whatever you say, but everyone almost like disrespects her in some manner. She just doesn't feel like she's being treated as a Yonko at times. But anyways, let's put. I mean, she was scary in Whole Cake Island, but after that, she was just not that interesting. Whole Cake Island. Just because of the fight, I want to put it higher than one of the other arcs. But overall, I will put it just below Dressrosa. All right, then Reverie. I'm trying to remember what all happened over there because there was just so many things that were happening, especially between the arcs and all. I mean, we got to know about Emu. Not really know, we just got a teaser about Emu and a few other things that were happening over here. It was interesting. I'll just put it at the bottom of it. There isn't much to talk about it. I mean, most of the things that happened quite later in the series in other arcs. So I don't think that kind of will fall for this one. I mean, if we are thinking that like all of it was one, I can easily put it much higher, but I will just leave it at there. Then we come to Wano. Hmm. Quite a long arc. The only arc longer than Dressrosa, I think. Interesting villain, Kaido. Like initially, we all thought like, how are we even going to beat him? He just felt invincible. Like there is no way we are going to beat Kaido, at least in this arc. But still, we were able to. All those things happened because of a reason. Like all of the other characters were able to fight with Kaido, and um, so yeah, and Luffy got a very huge power spike for that. Like not just one. If you think about it, Luffy first got to know advanced armament. Then he also got advanced conquerors, and on top of that, his devil fruit awakened, which wasn't just some simple devil fruit. It happened to be devil fruit that belonged to a god. So yeah, Luffy needed quite a few power spikes just to beat Kaido, and that too with the assistance from a lot of other characters. So overall, quite nice. Like there were so many characters involved, so many like fights happening here and there. Power spike of Zoro, Sanji, seeing Sanji in red suit, and then later on awakening his Germa abilities. And what else can we say? Luffy, rest of the Straw Hats also getting stronger. Frankie had such nice, cool scenes with Big Mom, Brooke, and what else is there? And rest of the, I really liked Denjiro, his character, his abilities and all. Like he seemed very cool to me. I was actually expecting him to fight Zoro at some point, and I was expecting that that will be Zoro's main fight, but it did not happen. Anyways, overall, very nice. I do want to put it at the bottom of S. I will put it over there because it did have some shortcomings, especially how the raid was treated and the kind of backstory Kaido had. To be honest, it was not that motivating why he did all those things, but we can't really put that for the arc. That was something about the character. Maybe I'll bring another of such a ranking character, some sort of video, and over there we'll rank Kaido and the others. So the last arc for now, which is the Egghead arc. I will just put it above. Can I put it above NES Lobby? A lot of things happened. We got to know a lot of things. We got to see all of the elders fight, and not to mention we got to see how powerful Emu is, not because of uh, his or her own power, but just the kind of power he or she controls. I will put it above NES Lobby. I'm just gonna pull the trigger right now. So yeah, I feel like it was quite interesting to watch, especially Vegapunk. Like it has been getting built up for so long that there is a character who is very smart, who has like all the kind of information, and then we finally get to meet him. And then the backstory of Kuma with Bonnie, everything, like it was just so nice to watch. Like if you watch it and you feel like this was not interesting, I'm not sure why are you even watching One Piece at this point. But overall, it was just so nice to watch. So yeah, a very nice arc, and obviously it led us to Elbaf, which we'll see later on once it gets adapted and released. So yeah, I think this is going to be my tier list for all the arcs in One Piece till now. Is there anything I would want to change? I don't think so. Marineford, Skype, yeah, those are my favorite arc. So definitely no change in that. And Egghead, Ines Lobby, Wano, I think this is fine for me. Maybe here and there I could change something, but yeah, fine then. So this was quite interesting to do. I would definitely like to make some similar kind of video for characters, and maybe if I had some other ideas, I'll make a few more videos like this. But yeah, this was quite interesting to do. And tell me your views if you want to change something, if you have something else in mind. But till then, see you guys in the next one. Bye.